Blake Lively was caught on tape talking about how she manipulates people around her in order to take control of the movies.
I wanted to be a part of the storytelling, that I wanted to be a part of the narrative, whether that be in the writing, in the costume design, in creating the character. And sometimes I had directors who would welcome that, and sometimes I would have people who really resented that because they were like, we just hired you to be an actor. Yet when I went in the meetings, I would just seem like I'm just there to be the actor and ready to get the gig. I wouldn't reveal that I actually need to have authorship in order to feel fulfilled.
Oh my God. And then she did exactly that to Justin Baldoni, apparently.
Ben Shapiro didn't hold back when he called out Blake Lively. He made it crystal clear, you're an actress. Unless you signed on as a producer or a director, your creative input doesn't mean squat. That's not your role. If you wanted to call the shots, you should have written your own script or signed a deal that gave you that power up front. But signing on as an actor and then trying to hijack the script, that's not just unprofessional, it's downright selfish. You don't get to rewrite the rules just because you feel like it. Stick to your lane or don't sign up at all. Shapiro's no-nonsense take cuts straight to the point, leaving no room for debate. He's not just criticizing Blake. He's exposing what he sees as a blatant overstep, calling her out for trying to control a project she was hired to act in, not run. And you can bet he's not alone in thinking it. But Shapiro's words are just the tip of the iceberg. Blake Lively has been exposed for poisoning the entire cast against Justin Baldoni, spreading lies, manipulation, and deceit to turn everyone against him. What a terrible person she is. She twisted narratives, fabricated drama, and smeared Baldoni's name, all to paint him as the villain. She's a serial fraudster. That's what this is called, fraud. But her plan backfired spectacularly, and now she's the one drowning in industry shame. Twisted narratives, fabricated drama, and smeared Baldoni's name, all to make him the villain.
So she's a serial fraudster. That's called fraud.
But the plan backfired spectacularly, and now she's the one facing the backlash, drowning in industry shame.
Meanwhile, the only evidence we're actually getting is stuff that's exposing Blake Lively.
Blake Lively has spent years fooling the world with her America Sweetheart act, but the truth is finally out. She's nothing more than a calculating, manipulative force of destruction in Hollywood. The same woman who smiles for the cameras and sells the perfect fairy tale image is the same woman who admitted with her own mouth that she literally poisoned an entire cast against one of her co-stars, and not just any co-star, her own real-life boyfriend at the time.
She wrested his movie away from him and decided to try to hurt him with petty, made-up, out-of-context complaints.
Blake flat out confessed to sabotaging Penn Badgley when they worked together on Gossip Girl. She didn't just dislike him, she made sure the entire cast turned against him, all because she didn't like that he was hired for the role. Let's be clear, Penn Badgley was good enough to get the job, but that wasn't enough for Blake. She wanted him gone, and since she couldn't pull the strings behind the scenes to get him fired, she turned everyone on set against him like a high school mean girl on a power trip, and she said all of this out loud like it was funny. Like completely destroying someone's working environment was just a quirky little phase in her life.
In Hollywood, my own position is she's absolutely ruined her brand. She has started a fight she cannot win. She does appear like an Amber Heard to me.
But guess what? The same pathetic game she played back in the Gossip Girl days is the exact same one she's playing now with It Ends With Us, only this time she set her sights on Justin Baldoni, the movie's actual director and the person who was supposed to have creative control. She plays the humble, relatable woman who just loves food and doesn't care about the superficial Hollywood standards, but behind the scenes she's destroying the careers of people who actually work hard for their success. Because let's be real, Penn Badgley had to fight to make a name for himself after she blacklisted him. While Blake was riding high on her PR machine and marrying into more Hollywood power, Penn was struggling to get work, and yet here we are in 2025, and guess what? Penn Badgley is back and Blake's entire empire is crumbling, and the best part, Penn and Justin Baldoni are actually friends. The man she sabotaged years ago is now standing beside the man she's trying to ruin now.
Penn is now friends with Justin Baldoni. They share a bromance. Well, why? Well, they're on the same board of a charity, and they're also part of the same faith, as you can see.
Here's the final nail in the coffin. Penn doesn't even follow Blake on social media anymore. She was his ex-girlfriend. They shared years together, and yet he wants nothing to do with her. Meanwhile, he follows Justin Baldoni. That's all the proof you need that Hollywood sees through her games.
Look at this, Penn Badgley. Let's go look. Is he following Justin? Justin Baldoni, there he is. Now, is Penn following Blake, his ex-girlfriend? Nope, he's not. Interesting.
Penn Badgley's career was supposed to be over. Blake Lively made damn sure of that. She blacklisted him, manipulated the industry, and tried her absolute best to erase him from Hollywood. But guess what? Penn is back, and Hollywood isn't just welcoming him, they're loving him. Blake spent years climbing over people like a social climbing parasite, thinking she'd never have to look down at the damage she left behind. But karma is a cruel thing, and now Penn Badgley is thriving while Blake Lively is drowning in lawsuits and industry backlash. The same man she sabotaged years ago is more respected than ever. But Blake's antics didn't stop there.
And she bullied him into giving her the movie where she did her own cut. They released the cut of the movie. He didn't even get to see it. He was the director of the film, the producer of the film, the guy who got the rights to the film, the one who's supposed to be in control. He didn't even get to see it. He was in the basement at his own movie premiere.
She took over the entire film, forced rewrites, manipulated the cast, and once again poisoned an entire set against the one person standing in her way. And let's talk about that manipulation, because Blake isn't even good at hiding her tricks anymore. First, she leaked a bunch of texts to make Justin look like the villain. When people started asking too many questions, she suddenly decided she needed access to Justin's phone records to verify the texts.
And now she's trying to claim, oh, well, we need the receipts to verify this and prove that he's smearing. You need to prove he's smearing. I thought you already did.
Let's just take a second to process that level of audacity. She leaked private messages, then demanded Justin's personal records so she could prove she was telling the truth. That's not what innocent people do, that's what liars do when they're trying to cover their tracks. Text leaks prove Blake literally refers to Ryan and Taylor as her dragons. Who does that? Who calls their husband and their best friend dragons like some medieval villain forming an army?
She called herself Khaleesi and said Ryan Reynolds and we believe Taylor Swift were her dragons. And she's got the best dragons because they'll fight on behalf of her friends too.
And you know what those dragons did? Ryan Reynolds allegedly bullied Justin Baldoni in private meetings, trying to force him to bend to Blake's will. And Taylor Swift? She backed Blake's version of the movie, which means she knowingly helped push Justin's vision aside just because her bestie needed a favor. Thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single twist in this unfolding Hollywood scandal.